Hi, this is Victor Pierantoni, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the power of emotions and how to use your emotions rather than allowing your emotions to use you. Stay tuned. So what is an emotion? An emotion is a pattern of a few things. Now most people, they feel like they get emotions, like emotions come to them. Because an emotion is just a feeling that you have in any given moment. So the inspiration for the content of this video actually comes from Tony Robbins and the foundation of his work, which is called the Triad. Now what this represents is this is your current emotional state at any given point in time. Now the triad of your emotions is three things, three specific patterns that will create any emotion based on how you use them. So the first one being your physiology. Your physiology is the base of any emotion that you have. In earlier videos about changing your breathing and changing your state, you understand that every physiology or every emotion has a certain pattern of breathing to it. So it's any way that you're using your body. The second part is the focus. Whatever you focus on, you feel. Whether it's true or not, whether it's made up or it's actually something that's happening, you're going to feel whatever you focus on. So where focus goes, energy flows. And the third part is your language and the meaning that you attach to things. Your words serve as the filter for how you're feeling. So based on the words that you use, you're gonna feel a certain way. It's much different to feel okay than it is to feel incredibly excited, right? So the words that we use act as filters. So you have physiology, focus, and your pattern of language and meaning. So those are what create an emotion. Now the reason why I bring you this video is because Tony actually brought up something very interesting recently, and this is not something he's always done, but this is something that he brought to his own attention as well as the attention of all of his viewers recently. There are two types of emotional states. There's a state of suffering and a beautiful state. Okay, so any emotion that you have always falls under one of these states. And the reason why I'm bringing you this video is because your emotional state is the greatest gift that you can give yourself or others. It's the first point of contact between you and yourself, as well as you and another person. Before any words are exchanged, before any service is exchanged, it's your emotional state. The transference of emotion, the transference of that energy. So let's go through the two states. So the first state is the state of suffering. So state of suffering is what a lot of people go into, and most people wouldn't call it suffering. Especially if you're an achiever, you probably call it, I'm a little annoyed right now, or I'm stressed out, which is really code for fear, and it is a form of suffering at the end of the day, because in order to suffer, you must focus on yourself and what you're not getting. So that's the only way that we can be in a state of suffering. We have to focus on ourselves, what we're not getting, how we want something different than the life conditions, and how our life conditions shouldn't be the way they are. Now, understandably, you're going to go to these states. This is not about being perfect and never going into a state of suffering, but the question is, are you going to stay there? Or are you going to move into what's called the beautiful state? In a beautiful state, in order to be in a beautiful state, you have to focus on what you have already, what you're grateful for, what you can bring to the table, what value that you add, the things that you appreciate or love in your life, the people that you appreciate and love in your life. That is how you go into a beautiful state, maybe a state of gratitude, where you're focused on what you're grateful for. You're focused on the abundance of who you are. So it's important to understand that you're either in a suffering state or you're in a beautiful state. And the question is, if you go into a suffering state, how long are you going to stay there? Most people allow themselves to stay there and dwell in their suffering, but this is not doing anything for anybody. It's not doing anything for you. It's not doing anything for the people that you love or the people that you interact with. So the greatest gift that you can give anyone or yourself is your emotional state, because it's how you feel in any given moment. The quality of your life is the quality of your emotions. It's the quality of how you feel moment to moment. No matter what you achieve in your life, if you're always stressed and pissed off all the time, that's the quality of your life. Or if you're broke, but you're happy and you're having a great time, that is the quality of your life. If you were to think of it as your life as a picture, the emotions are the color, the vibrancy, the things that really add that dimension to your life. It's the feeling that you get. It's how we interpret what's going on. So the meaning is how we shape things, and the emotions that we feel is the color within those shapes. It's how we feel in any given moment. So you have to ask yourself, are you going to stay in a state of suffering, or are you going to move into a beautiful state? Because the choice is yours. And if you're going to make one decision, this is something that Tony talks about. He did this in his Q&A regarding his recent documentary, which I would highly recommend seeing. It's called I'm Not Your Guru. It's on Netflix. But in his Q&A that he did on a Facebook Live, he said that if there's one decision you could make, it's to make the decision to be in a beautiful state no matter what. And if you go into a suffering state, that you make sure that you move out. And the ways that you move out of a state of suffering is you start to change your focus. You change the focus by changing your questions. Instead of saying, why is this happening to me? What is great about my life right now? What can I be grateful for? Who do I love? Who loves me? Changing your physiology. Rather than being slouched and, maybe talking in a low tone, you change your physiology to one that you're speaking in a more excited tone. You're speaking louder, you're opening up. You're changing your breathing, which ultimately changes your state, as you've seen in another video. And if you haven't seen that video, make sure you go and watch it. I'll make sure I put the link in the description. But if you change your breathing, you change your state, because that's a change in physiology. And then changing the words you use. Using the power of language to use words that add to you rather than take away from you. Not using words that go against you, but words that support you in what you truly want. Thank you for watching. Be sure to go and check out that documentary, I Am Not Your Guru, on Netflix. It'll change the way you think about everything. If this video helped or added value to your life, please like, share, and subscribe. Otherwise, leave a comment at breakthroughtovictory.com.